Alright, uh, I'll wait for whoever is going to watch to show up, I guess. I'll wait like a minute or two. Um, can you please start the vid? No, it's not ready yet. I'm joking. Seriously though, I will start it in just a minute. I don't want to wait long. Be patient. Alright, just a sec. Anyways. Alright. Um, okay, let me just let everybody in the server know that the stream has started. Stream has now started. Okay, so if you don't remember how these work, basically, this is probably one of my most experimental videos in a while. It doesn't even have to do with SML or anything. It's just something. And so, whoop, whoop, politics. Um, yeah. But, I don't know. Just, I'm going to play it in a second. Someone's messaging me on Discord though, so not quite yet. But yeah, it like the previous one I did of this, the previous, uh, uh, quote unquote private screening or whatever. Um, yeah, the last one I did was like, uh, out. It was still an SML related thing, I think. So in any case, um, this will be fun. I hope. Maybe. I don't know. Let's just get started, I guess. And here's this note at the very beginning. Basically, this is just in case you didn't figure it out. This is not the complete final version. There will still be more stuff to be done. Like the music isn't necessarily final. There aren't like transitions between topics and all that stuff. Blah 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 blah. So yeah. So you guys can watch this. I'm not going to pause or anything, and then you can say your thoughts at the end. Oh, once this is done, it's 11 minutes. No, sorry, nearly 12. So I'll just play it for you guys. You tell me what you think. Also, for some reason, it was dropping frames when I watched it earlier. It might just be my computer or something. I don't know. Let's just get started. 3, 2, 1, and go. Yeah, it's playing. Alright, I'm gonna shut up now. I'll let you guys watch it.
Greetings, everybody. So, I was honestly hoping I would never make a video about this, but due to some recent events, and the fact that this doesn't seem to be stopping, I feel as if I should talk about this at some point, and why not now? I must warn you all, however, that this video will involve stuff about politics and some real life stuff and other things you may not want to think about much. If you want to leave, I don't blame you, but if you're still here, then it's time we talk about the politicization of video games. Now, let me say that developers of video games can put whatever they want in their games. However, I feel as if it should fit in. Like, I'd expect much more political commentary from something like Metal Gear Solid, Spec Ops, Deus Ex, etc. than I would from, say, Super Mario Odyssey. So I'm going to outline when I think it's appropriate and not appropriate, at least in my opinion, to put these types of things in video games. Everyone has a side to take in politics. Even if you think you're the most centrist of centrists, you'll probably still lean one way or another on certain issues. However, I think if you're going to take a side when making a game, it should hopefully be clear what you're doing. It's much more difficult for people on the left to complain about a game they bought which had a right-leaning political message to it, or vice versa. if you're making it pretty clear from the start that the story in your game is going to have a political slant to it, I think that's fair, with some exceptions. Hey, you remember that train wreck that was Battlefield 5's marketing? Now, what's the problem here? They were at least clear about their intentions for the game. The problem is that they were toying around with history. I can understand if you're trying to make an alternate universe or something, where it's got a lot of fiction with a little bit of history sprinkled in there, but no. They were simply using the World War II setting, yet they were using it to try and shove in a political message about feminism. They would also downplay actual events from history that actually happened so that they could show off, oh, look, a strong, independent woman. I mean, you've got to remember that this is coming from the guy who gets annoyed when they remove the swastikas from the flags for being historically inaccurate. But that's minor, and I know that they do that in part to sell in other regions. And I'm not going to nitpick every single tiny historical inaccuracy. But this was just... no. Them doing this appealed to no one. It might have gotten them some social justice points in the short term, but not much else. And they alienated their audience, which leads me to my next point. Let's say you want to produce a game about the Civil War, but for some reason, you really want to include your black transsexual male to female character as the main protagonist. Now, ask yourself a couple things. Does that make sense in the context of history? Like, at all? No. First of all, I think you're horrible because that's also a part of rewriting history, at least in a sense. But you know what? Okay then. Now then, ask yourself this. What's the main demographic for your game? At least in part, I can guarantee you that it will be people who enjoy games involving war, and in this case, the Civil War. Now, how many people will your character actually appeal to? How many people who are actually going to buy your game will enjoy that conclusion? Or how many people will that sway to buy your game? How many people will say, well, I initially wasn't going to, but now I'm convinced because of how woke and progressive you are. Okay, now take that, at most probably a couple dozen people who will do that, and then weigh that with the hundreds or thousands of people who will see this, think you're pandering or trying to force an agenda down their throat, and so they will either not buy the game, or they will pirate the game to spite you. Is that really worth it, all for some SJW good boy points? Probably not if you ask me, but hey, you know what? I'm not a game developer, so who knows? So, let's say you're playing Doom, but you spot something on one of the walls in the UAC. What's this? Why, it's a Confederate flag. Now, obviously, this doesn't exist in-game, but stick with me here. So, why would this be here? What type of connection does it have to anything else in the game? Or perhaps someone on the development team just snuck it in because they want to make a statement? But a lot of people, both on the left and the right, would be annoyed by this. It's a real-life object which serves no purpose being there, and in our current real-world context, whether you agree on what it stands for or not, it's a political symbol. And in the case of an otherwise apolitical game, it yanks you back to reality. It ruins the immersion. And in games like these, they're annoying, since if you're playing a more or less non-political game, you're more than likely trying to escape reality, not be reminded of it. Now, some people are probably saying, WH2, this is stupid. Why are you bringing any of this up? What's the point of all this? Let's talk about this. For those who aren't aware, this is in fact a real thing in the game A Hat in Time. The only other thing that even remotely ties into real-world stuff like this does in the entire rest of the game is a joke about capitalism. And even that's pretty mild. Now, I don't know where you stand on issues like this, and to be quite honest, I don't care. Maybe we can discuss something like that far down the road from now. But for now, I'm going to address some of this. Now, I wasn't just a casual observer here. No, I played this game, saw this once someone pointed it out, and shortly afterwards saw the war zone that became literally every discussion of A Hat in Time due to this. So I can firsthand address some common arguments about this. No, I'm not going to just talk about one group in this. No, I'm talking about everyone here. So, some people have been claiming that people shouldn't worry about it since, oh, it's just a game, why should you care? Just enjoy the game. While I do agree that this is a small issue since you're initially faced away from it and you have to actually turn around to see this secret, you have to realize that a lot of people, surprisingly enough, don't like politics in their game about a space traveling kid in a hat who collects hourglasses. Seriously, stuff like this, as I've mentioned, shouldn't just be shoehorned into the game. It's out of place and doesn't make any sense except for what feels like pandering. Next, we've got those who say that it's just 3 colors on a wall in a certain pattern. Hey, guess what? Patterns represent something. Crazy, I know. But you know what? Let's take your logic, shall we? Well then, the Confederate flag here shouldn't be a problem either, right? Or what about the Nazi flag? They're both just 3 colors on a wall that are arranged in a certain pattern. Why would you complain about that? Oh, you're suddenly complaining now? I don't get it. Why are you complaining? It's just 3 colors on a wall, right? And hey, both share 2 of those 3 colors with the original. Some might be saying that I'm comparing apples to oranges and that this flag is supposed to be an inherently positive thing in comparison to the other 2 I just mentioned. The problem is that all 3 are politically controversial whether you want to admit it or not. Not everyone sees the trans flag as something positive or good, and that's been shown by just how much backlash there's been to this. Oh, and did I mention it's pandering? Yeah, let's talk about that. Now, through all of these, I've seen a few supposed trans people go so far as to say they hate this because it feels like pandering to them. Now, I don't have much of any way to verify that it's true these people are trans, but even if only one of them is, it still speaks volumes. But I do at the very least know of gay and bi people who have said they hate it when people do this kind of stuff, since it feels very much like pandering to them. It makes them feel abnormal and weird. Like, because all of this needs to be pointed out and reminded to them that they're obviously different, and they can't just be normal like everybody else. Now then, as for the people overreacting to all of this, stop. Just stop. I get the problem. It's something political in an otherwise apolitical game. I'll be grilling the devs here in a second too. But seriously, why are you starting an entire giant fight over some secret on a wall? While I do get some people being upset about this, I don't think it warrants a refund of the DLC or pirating the game. Seriously, I didn't care for it either, believe it or not. And you know what I did? I made a joke about it, and that was about it. It didn't become this giant thing looming over the entire game until people made it one. That all being said, the devs shouldn't have put that in there to begin with. Speaking of which, hey, gears for breakfast? What's this? And what's it doing in your game? Did someone go rogue and decide to sneak this in just before the DLC shipped? Well, if only you guys had known what this would cause. Seriously, this feels incredibly out of place, and by extension, kind of feels like pandering. Why? So you could get your social justice brownie points? And by the way, you clearly didn't check to know your audience, since most of your audience clearly didn't like the inclusion of this in the game. Can you fix this? I honestly don't know. I honestly think that it might be a bit late to do anything. If you have the flag, you've already got a fractured fanbase now. If you remove it, you might save the fanbase at the expense of the media getting wind of it and getting a PR nightmare on your hands. Honestly, if I'm going to be totally honest, I think this should be nothing more than to serve as a lesson to future developers to not do this in their otherwise apolitical game, no matter how well-intentioned it is. Alright, conclusion time. I believe that politics in games can be done right. If it's a major part of the story, I can understand it. My problem always has been and always will be with 2 things. 1. Trying to shove in a political agenda by means of altering historical events which actually happened. Or 2. Trying to shove in politics into an otherwise apolitical game, presumably so you can pander to a certain group. Even if either of these are well-intentioned, they're still wrong. So please, don't do that. I never thought I'd be making this video so soon, to be honest, but I guess it's good I finally got it over with. Oh, and one other thing. What will happen to the secret in a hat in time? Honestly, I think that it'll be left in, since there isn't much else that can be done at this point without potentially causing more damage. Removing it would be a PR nightmare, and doubling down on it would fracture their fanbase even more. And yes, I know this is not the only apolitical game with political messages in them. I know there are many more, but this was a very recent example, and one I was able to see unfold firsthand. In any case, thank y'all for watching this rather different video from me. If you would like to see more videos like this, please let me know. And in any case, thank y'all for watching, and take care.
Okay, so biggest thing I saw in the chat was add some more visuals. And yes, I do plan on doing that. I plan on adding a lot more visuals. Um but besides that, uh something. Uh, besides that, cuz this wasn't meant to be like the final version. There weren't very many visuals for a reason. That's because I want to show this to you guys. Like I'll be editing tonight and a good chunk of tomorrow all of those visuals in. Yeah, I get a lot of people don't like the just gameplay type of deal, and I don't blame them. So yeah. Um I am open to suggestions though otherwise. Basically this was for the actual like content of the video, like what I'm saying and if I spoke about things properly. How about Jack's getting woke? What? No idea what you're talking about, Stoops. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Stoops. But yeah, anyways, so I figured, but yeah, show some examples of the war because honestly, it's not hard to find. It's not hard to find, unfortunately. I mean, just the other day, I took a screenshot of like what the Steam discussion forums looked like, and it in comparison to like other places, like the Steam discussions are pretty usually fairly clean, all things considered. So, yikes. Anyways, can you talk about the whole Super Smash Bros. Banning Pride flag? It's hilarious. I I don't know. Maybe? I mean, this is more about developers putting it in their games rather than like fans saying, "Oh, I want to put trans rights or whatever on Super Smash Bros." The whole Overwatch characters fiasco. I know nothing about that. I know nothing about that. Part of the reason I picked the Hat in Time example wasn't just because oh, I like the game. It's because they it's because it's something I know best. It's one of these things I had like front row seats to. I was able to watch it. I was able to watch it as it all happened. Yeah. So basically, I'm just trying to see if like my what I said in the video made sense, if I was all clear, all this stuff. Is there stuff I should add? Anything I should remove? All that good stuff. Also, I'm gonna play Minecraft while I talk. I hope you don't mind, because if you do, I'm going to ignore you. I'll wait for... I think you were pretty clear. Nintendo's reasoning was actually good. They didn't want political stuff in the game. Yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Okay. Let's see who's here. Oh, there's actually a few people here. Hi. Yeah. Alright, so, dub check your mind. Oh god. You about to stream or just on for fun? Little does he know I'm already streaming. Hi, Dub, it's me, Kimak. I effed up, as you can see, to your left. Sorry. Great. So, Call of Duty World War II putting in females. I don't know. Maybe. Um. So, is there anything else chat wants to say to me? Anything at all? Again, the reason I do this isn't so that I like I appreciate being told, "Oh, it's great." But at the same time, I also want suggestions if there are any to be given. Sunrise or sunset? Can't tell. Sunset. Crap. Oh well. Hey. Um. Hashtag makeout world great again. What? I think I said all I needed to say. Aside from visuals, it was pretty good. Alright, I guess I'll be uploading it, if all goes according to plan tomorrow then. Wow, this is a great house. Well, there goes my last bit of food. Yes, I need some more. I don't really have anything, so sorry. No, it's okay. It's fine. If it's already good enough, then yeah, there's no need to. What? I don't remember having a waterfront property. Although, you know what? Maybe I did. I forget. Hmm. Um. Why is my sheep using a ladder? I don't know. Ooh! I don't remember planting all of this, but you know what? I am not going to complain. It's cool. They're evolving. Alright, and with 3 to spare. Thank you to whoever did that. Seriously. How about people screwing up careers lately? What do you mean? Oh, also, I am open to suggestions for other, just other videos I could do. It could revolve around politics or just something besides SML. Dear God. I need to give it a break. Captain Marvel has to be the most well-written character in manga history. OMG. Great. If there was any more sarcasm in that sentence, I swear it'd be oozing out of you. Like Etika, Pro James Charles. Nah, those have been, for lack of a better term, kinda dub. Are you streaming? No. Shh. Nobody tell him. Yeah, anyways. No, what was I going to say? No, I think those have been kind of covered to death. Like it or not, this topic is one that hasn't been covered very much. And I'd like to, you know, it's why I wanted to cover it, because it's like, oh, this hasn't been covered too much. I mean, don't get me wrong, there's still some. But, oh, I just flat out didn't notice that. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it! Oh, yeah? Well, two can play at that Where are you? Two can play at that game. I'm out of arrows. Aha! Now I've got an arrow. Oh, wait. I don't need it anymore. So, you know what? I think I'll start a Minecraft stream live in a few minutes. If that's okay with everybody in the chat. Okay, how did someone build a nether portal already? No way. Nuh-uh. Nuh-uh. Then again, there have been some people who have been on here, like, all day. So, Alright, let's... I'm down. Alright, cool. Oh. Oh, no. No, get out of here. Get out of here! What? What? Huh? Oh god, where am I? Oh god! Did I get warped somewhere else? Alright, I'll be starting the Minecraft stream in a few minutes then. I think I'm lost. Oh, wait, no, there's someone else here. Hold on, let me just check out where I am. Okay, I guess I'm just in this area. Oh, that's good, I guess. Wow, this farm has really spread. Nice. I am uh-oh. Rip. I am actually impressed. Wow, this is nice. There have been people working on this like all day. I like logged in for maybe an hour or two. So yeah. Alright, let me start the I thought you tried to kill me. No. Alright. Let me start the main stream.